a generational talent. They called him the General, Teko Modise. He feels if Orlando Pirates win this, they would have had a very successful season. He doesn't quite answer what I said, which was the question to say, if Orlando Pirates win 2 cups and come second, would they have done better? But, apparently, there was a discussion was, no, Andile, you're way too off. It wouldn't be so. It's exactly 9 after the hour 6. He speaks, though, about the only team that could potentially challenge Sundowns next season is Orlando Pirates. It's not me. It's Donna. It's Teko Modise. And by the way, thanks for listening to the show. 9 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It's Sports Not Amplified with Andile on the Mighty Metro FM. Touch on the gang. They do it again. Not tomorrow. Next week, Monday. Yeah, on Monday between 3 and 6. It was lovely seeing some lovely people that listen to this radio station on the TRL, which is a combination, of course, of radio as well as Instagram Live. It's 9 after the hour 6. Welcome to it. It's a Friday. It's Podcast Friday. Nadeem Lukele is in the studio. He in Joburg. He's not alone in the studio in Joburg. He's with Uspium Konza, SABC analyst and former Kaizer Chiefs player. Former SABC statistician and analyst is Nadeem Lukele. All the way in Durban, Pro Pilani SABC sport researcher Linda Moyo, who's a member of the Opta Jabu team, will be joining us just a little bit later. Before I go do the business that I need to go do, we'll be talking about a lot of things today. But the one thing I want to highlight is that when I say Nadeem must come on the show because I believe in Nadeem, at the beginning of it, people said, this guy just speaks, he doesn't know what he's saying. Nadeem in particular, I'm going to single him out. He doesn't know what he's saying. I want to go back to a conversation that we had. When did Middendorp get hired at Swallows?
March.
Please switch him. When was it?
March.
In March, right?
Yeah.
Nadeem said this a week before, when he was announced, a week before he played his first game, right? He said this about Middendorp.
Okay.
And do you know what happened to Middendorp now?
Yeah.
What happened to Middendorp?
He was sacked
He's not only sacked, he relegated the team.
Third division team in Germany.
Third division team, Ernst Middendorp, has relegated that team. I'm going to go back to the clip and I'll tell you a lot more about it as we go along. But also on the show today is a big final over the weekend. It's Cook University Orlando Pirates. I thought it would be an easy one-sided conversation, but the guys have told me different. It's not going to be one-sided. Yeah. It's actually going to be a tough one, and there might be split minds as to who's going to win that one over the weekend. But we need to touch base with our friends out at Sasol because they're doing big things when it comes to the support of football in this country, particularly women's football. We know that Sasol has been supporting football for a very, very long time, and they've continued to do so. This time around, though, it's in the women's football, supporting Banyana Banyana and going all the way to the World Cup with them. Nozipo Mbata is with me on the show and on the line now. Nozipo, thank you so much for joining us. She's the Sasol Senior Manager of Group Brand and Sponsorship. Thank you for talking to us.
Good afternoon, Andile. Good afternoon to Metro FM listeners. I'm delighted to be here.
We're happy to have you because, anybody that takes their money out of their own pocket, particularly in the private sector, and says, here's to sport, here's to funding dreams, here's to funding possibility, here's to aspirations, Nozipo, is something that's amazing. Tell us, what are you and Banyana Banyana doing?
Yeah, so we recently launched the campaign to see Banyana Banyana go off to Australia and New Zealand, representing the country at the biggest stage. And we launched a campaign, we called it South Africa, Your Support Gives Us Energy. And really what we're saying is that Banyana Banyana needs the support of all South Africans so that they know when they go represent us, that they are going to give it their best, knowing that they have the entire nation behind them.
And of course, within this campaign, you've said we should also show our support to the team by sharing our messages of support with the team. How do we do this?
Yes, so we're encouraging all South Africans, and the messages, I can assure you, will get to the players. We're encouraging people to send their messages via WhatsApp, and we have a WhatsApp line, and that number is 072 603 7325. 072 603 7325. And you can also, if you don't have a smartphone, use your ordinary phone to dial using USSD *120 *676#. And these messages the team will receive. And
so basically, let me understand you. You're saying if I send to 072 603 7325 and I say, hey, Andile Dlamini, good luck, ole para san, she's going to hear me send her that message.
Yes, you can send your voice message. She's going to hear it, and we're going to collect all of them, and we're going to share them with the team. And we are encouraging everyone to send their messages. If you've got something to say to Banyana, please do so.
Oh, that's amazing.
That I've just shared.
I was watching Mazola as well as I think Vusiwa as well, SABC sport analyst and researchers as well as journalists were out signing a big flag, and I saw you guys were involved in that. What was that flag about?
Yeah, so the flag is also for messages of support, and the flag will be handed over to the team so that when they get to the stadiums and when they're playing at the World Cup, that's going to remind them that these are the messages, and the whole of South Africa, not everybody will be there, but everyone will be with you and hear their messages. May you always remember that.
And lastly, somebody, one person, 2 people, 3 people, 10 people, how many people can win to go along with Banyana Banyana, watch 2 group stages games? How do they do it?
Yeah, so we are giving away fans and supporters an opportunity to participate in the campaign. They get a chance to win. I wish we could send everybody, but it's not possible. But we're encouraging everyone to fill up a Cecil for 500 Rand or more, and there will be a Swartlair rewards card, and they entered to go to New Zealand. And this competition is going to close on Tuesday, which is not long from now. So Tuesday, the 30th of May, fill up with 500 Rand or more, swipe your Cecil rewards card, and you'll have an opportunity to go and see Banyana Banyana live.
Oh, Shandu and Siabo.
Siabo.
Nosipo there, but from Cecil, talking to us about all the things that you could walk away with and the amazing prizes as they support Banyana Banyana. It's 16 after the hour 6. Let's take a quick break. When we come back, Skizo's here. I'm good. Matoho's gone. Nadim is here. Nadim, your boy, Ernst Middendorp. He's gone.
Yeah, I know this. It's one of those coaches who has really not done justice in his name.
No,
that's why I told Chatabo must be careful when he's selecting states. Some states are useless because he said he in Germany is the coach of the century. So some of the states, when you're doing them, you must just look away. Not say it.
We've got Pro Pilani all the way at Tegwini. Pro Andile Jali no longer a Sandawana. We're going to get into that.
Good evening, good Andile. Good evening to everybody in the studio, and good evening to all the listeners of this #1 sports show in South Africa.
Let's take a quick break. This is Sports Not Amplified with Andile. I am Andile Ncube. Skizo, former Kaizer Chiefs and Bafana player, also now SABC analyst. He sits with me. We've got former SABC statistician in Nadim Lukele and SABC sport researcher in Pro Pilani. Guys, let's start right into it. Eric Matoho is official, has left Kaizer Chiefs. Skizo.
Yeah. Andile, 11 years service rendered by Mato, 9 to be exact, because there was less involvement in the last 2 years. But again, when I look at the situation of Mato, the message has been there and very clear. When the team brings new centre backs and you fall into 6th in a pecking order, and as an experienced player, a Chiefs that has been there, a team needs to be built around you that speaks Gucci knows. And the reason Umato hasn't been performing, I don't want to talk about the social life because I'm not sure, but I think he's going to decline in his performances. And it's not enough to be a good player at Kaizer Chiefs. You need to bring character and the personality and the big temperament. In the last 2 years, what has Mato done? The message has been there. Team is bringing new centre backs. We're picking order number 6, man.
Nadim?
Of course, it's not on number 6 on pecking order on merit. It's because of his social life. We all know that.
So you don't think it's no,
it's not.
He's not the 6th worst player.
He's the best defender at Kaizer Chiefs. The only reason is
Eric Matoho is the best defender at Kaizer Chiefs.
He is. He definitely is. He is. I mean, if you look how he was signed at Bloemfontein Sectis at the age of 22, long time ago, when Jessica announces number 3 without him even being agreed. Okay, Jessica knew that Bobby Mtawang has already secured the deal. He was not even there. I was there when Jessica announced Eric Matoho somewhere in the south. From there, he won like 2 league titles with Kaizer Chiefs as well as the Nedbank Cup in Durban. He has been solid. Bafana player. He also was solid when he was with Teofuma Shamaite.
Is he still solid now?
Of course, because of lifestyle, his form has not really that he has declined. Because I remember scored even during the COVID, he was playing well at Orlando. I mean, playing against Pirates. He's always been one of the Kaizer Chiefs key players. The only reason he's not been playing is not because of he's no longer the best. he can still play anywhere. If he can fix his social life, that's the only reason. Just like Andile Jali, we're going to talk about him later on. It's because of his social life. Last season was the midfield of the season. Sure, that was the best player. So Matoho again, I mean, I would think that if he can fix that thing, he'll still go to any team and play well.
But Andile, one appearance this past season.
But Nadeem says it's not because he's not playing.
No, he played 1 minute.
No.
I just wanted to disrespect Eric Matoho by playing him 1 minute. It's not like Ngezana and anyone else was playing better than him.
Matoho needs to lead by example. What are you saying?
What example if you're sitting in the bench?
No, very character, because you're teaching this.
Character from the bench.
Can I show you something? Dressing room Chiefs will be led by Abom Tutuzi Shabala Nabos Samgelo Zwane, because the players that have Chiefs.
So he was supposed to show character from the bench.
Maugu Kaizer Chiefs, I just said, being a good player, it's not enough. You need character and personality. Whether you are playing.
So Matoho for the past 11 years, Chiefs didn't have character. What you're saying?
He did. The last 2 years hasn't been good.
Because of his social life, he started doing things that was not supposed to do. Was not disciplined enough. It has nothing to do with character.
Pro, what do you say?
But Andile, every good era comes to an end, and 11 years at Kaizer Chiefs is not child's play. Not every player can stay that long at a club like Kaizer Chiefs. I still remember how Sundowns tried to hijack the deal for Matoho from Bloemfontein Celtic, but the boy was adamant that he wanted to play for Kaizer Chiefs and nobody else. And I'm happy that Kaizer Chiefs respected him in the end, and they gave him a well-deserving farewell. I think that he has earned a legendary status at Kaizer Chiefs. I will never forget the season where he partnered with Performer Maite at the back, and I think Kaizer Chiefs had one of the longest I think streak when they won the league, and they were so solid and they were scoring goals as well. So for me, I think it was a well lived career at Kaizer Chiefs, and we wish him all the best wherever he's going.
Do you think it makes sense for you when you look at Chiefs, what they're trying to achieve, and you look at Matoho, the parting makes sense to you?
Yes, it does. And you look at the players that are playing in the talk, where you look at Sprem Simang. I think Sprem Simang is a direct replacement of Matoho. I don't think that even if he wanted to stay at Chiefs, I don't think that he was going to bench any of those boys if he couldn't bench Ghana. And for me, I think it's okay that he moves on. It's okay that he's going to look for playing time elsewhere. I think he can still come back at Kaizer Chiefs and help maybe at the under 12s or under 13s or under 15s. I think Kaizer Chiefs respect him. They love him, and they respect everything that he has done for the club. Whatever happened off the field, I don't think that is relevant at this point in time. But this is a player that served the club with all respect, and he always wanted to be a Kaizer Chiefs player. And I think that he achieved everything that he wanted to achieve at the club.
Where do you see him fit in the DSTV Premiership? Where would you say this would be a good fit for Matoho?
Unfortunately, Bomarumo Kalans are relegated, but about Swallows, they can utilize his services. I think a team like Swallows, I know that Chaben is listening, and he might be fighting with me on this one, but I know that he wants solid defense, and he may utilize his services. Swallows is a perfect fit for him.
We're going to move on from Eric Matoho, very divided.
I think he's going to go to SuperSport because of his height. And remember, I know the story. Matoho was supposed to go to Pirates. He never said he wanted to go to Chiefs. Tim Sugazi took him to Chiefs because he had a good relationship with Kaizer Chiefs, not with Pirates.
No,
Tim.
Okay,
but the story was never. He did say to the people that were close to him that I know, where he said that was not true, that he wanted to play for Chiefs. He wanted to play for Pirates.
Oh, he played for Chiefs for 11 years.
Yeah. Yes, because players get hijacked. Just like Nyandoro was supposed to play for Chiefs, he played for Sundowns.
Let's go to Andile Jali, speaking of Sundowns.
Yeah.
This one was not one that we saw coming. I thought that Andile Jali would probably finish his career at Sundowns.
Me too.
Pro, perhaps let me start with you. You're big on covering Sundowns events and stories here. Andile Jali leaving Sundowns, the writing was on the wall though. As soon as he stopped going to training, as soon as we didn't see him as part of that formidable team, the videos were coming out with him, living his life really, not in the way that we see most professionals living. We knew the writing was on the wall. What do you make of Sundowns and Andile Jali parting ways?
I think for most Sundown fans, it's a very painful end of journey for Andile Jali. Remember the Sundowns. I think this is one player that really turned his life around the Sundowns and turned his career around. Remember when he started at Sundowns, there were problems with his weight. He had a lot of issues even with Coach Pito. But as soon as he changed his mentality and he changed his attitude, he became one of the solid members of the Sundowns team. And unfortunately, with Andile, as soon as Bongani Zongo arrived, I knew deep down in my heart that it was the end of Andile Jali, because these are two players that were going to compete for the same space. And unfortunately, Tebogo Mokoena raised the standard and they started competing for the place on the bench. And I knew very well that one of them will not stay long. Knowing that Bongani just arrived, it was clear that Andile will be the next, will be near the door. And it's so unfortunate that a player of his caliber had to leave a club that, in my opinion, has served with great distinction and great leadership. And I think his career at Sundowns was far better than his career at Pirates.
What do you think his career at Sundowns was far better than his career at Pirates?
That's just me.
In terms of performance or winnings?
Achievements.
Both.
No, okay, it's not telling the truth. It's not.
No, but he says that's his opinion. What do you think of that?
Some opinions are just wrong, guys. This is a wrong opinion. At Pirates, that way he was the beast. He was young, was 21, 22. Okay, with Andile Jali, the only reason it's not a Sundowns is because Ruana Mkwena is inexperienced. He's just gotten the job like as a coach when Pirates beat Sundowns. When Pirates beat Sundowns,
I want to see where you're going with this one.
When Pirates beat Sundowns in the M10-8, they changed from the co-coaches thing that was going on with Mangoba as well as Rulane. Rulane immediately
became the coach.
After that Saleng incident, I think that was the last time you saw Andile Jali playing. From there, Rulane Mkwena failed to manage when there was that thing with Simpombule and Andile Jali coming to turning drunk. That's the only reason it's no longer Sundowns, not with performance. We're talking about the guy last season was the midfielder of the season. It's one of the best midfielders ever to play in the PSL, if not the best. So the reason he can still walk to any team and become a star. There's no midfielder in that position. Even Tebogo Mkwena was playing with Jali, was not better than Andile Jali last season. Andile Jali, Tebogo Mkwena might win the football of the season. That shows that he was competing with the beast. Jali is the beast. He's one of the greatest. The only reason is doesn't have a team. Yeah. Mkwena failed to manage him. That drunken, that incident thing.
The way I think, and I understand Sundowns to work, it would be unfair to put it on Rulane because I don't think he makes unilateral decisions like that. I think it would have to be the TD that comes in, would have to be top management that comes in, would have to be a collection of people.
Remember, okay, I know.
That would come in
okay,
to make
maybe
that decision.
You said that you want to know where it leads. From there, he never played him. It started to say, no, Andile Jali can be an assistant coach, consult him. The guy was the midfielder of the season. Now you're telling him now he's more like your assistant coach. Before you bring us up, you talk to him. After you not play him, he gets frustrated. Then he starts this all drinking thing and all those kind of things. He starts by not playing. Because he's used to playing.
We need to take responsibility.
Yeah.
Yes, you do.
There's a lot of people sitting on the bench that aren't playing.
Yeah.
Yes, but Jali is not the kind of a player who's, if he's not playing, he gets frustrated. I know him from Pirates with Manyes. His lifestyle has always been like this. But the more he's playing, the more you know, 3 days later I'm playing, he's going to focus. Jali is not one of the guys like Mhlompo Kekana or players who are disciplined and focused, who are like dedicated to their career, like Ren Kekana and all those kind of things. Yeah. He's like a guy who likes going to nightclubs. Always like, there are so many stories with Jali. Like sometimes there's nothing to do with football. His player, as much as good on the field, sometimes you see him, there were stories about no Shendal and all those kind of things. His lifestyle has always been dodgy even outside the pitch.
For me, Andile, culture like that, it's very simple. I mean, coaches, if they have a player on a strong character, I know they struggle to deal with him. I'm not saying Andile Jali has been shifted at Sundowns, but because we don't know the real story of him leaving. But it comes in 3 folds. One, if this move suits Andile Jali, or it suits Sundowns, or it suits both, you cannot guarantee Andile Jali game time because Tebogo Mkwena has taken over the role, and Guno Zungu sitting on the bench. Not that Andile Jali is a bad player, but I believe that Sundowns is going a different direction now. That is why they've reached a ceiling. Team, because 12 matches this season, it gives you a clear indication good to jive. But again, last season,
Nedbank player of the tournament last season,
last man standing
last season, midfielder of the season last season.
Yeah, so things have changed. I mean,
no, there's no change. The coach Rulane decided not to play him when he took over. Andile was still the best.
But discuss situation.
Yeah, but also Nadim, surely if you aren't delivering coming into training, how am I expected to play you? If that's the case, if I'm hearing what you're saying, then Rulani is within his rights to say no. Because of everything else, it can't be.
So you mean at Sundowns, the coach doesn't have a total say in who he must select?
I mean, Coach Rulani always says, "I'd like to thank my entire team because we do things together." He says that all the time.
I think it's an identical situation, Nagamato, because
can
I finish, Andile? Anadim.
Yeah.
A senior player, unfortunately, you need to lead by example. If Andile Jali is saying, I'm not playing, then it's fine. Then you disrespecting the brand. We are ambassador of a club, we are a senior player of the club. The dressing room needs Andile Jali to lead these youngsters. You can't have a dressing room that is led by younger players. And Andile Jali, for me, top player. I'm not taking it, discrediting him, but I believe that in terms of being an example, it's important for these younger boys who are coming up, man.
But it's not there to be an example. Was the midfielder of the season last year? He's a
No,
superstar.
I disagree with you.
Yes.
You need to do everything, not just in 19.
I did tell
Before
there
that,
are players like Itumeleng Khune who will bring that leadership, and he is not a leader.
Yeah, but don't show up drunk.
Example.
But it's not the first story where Sundowns came to Sundowns training drunk.
No, but it doesn't matter. Don't show up.
But
don't do
he's
it.
been there for the 5 seasons at Sundowns.
So I can't punish you now. I can't say enough is enough.
Exactly. That's what I'm saying. With the reason he's not been playing is because of his off the field instead. Not that his quality. He can still play like anyway. Bongan Zungu is not better than Andile Jali even now.
It's 34 after the hour 6 on the Mighty Metro FM. It's conversations on a podcast Friday, because that's what we do. We lay the conversations out and we hear opinions as well. We had Letono Lusiama come on the show on Wednesday. Letono Lusiama came here because he had just found out that morning that Chippa United is not retaining his contract after the 4 games, and he feels like he saved Chippa United from relegation. He came on here. We had a conversation to ask him, why were you sacked? How do you feel? Because he had been reported in the news saying he was really mad at Chippa United, Chippa Mpengesi, the owner of Chippa United, the chairman of Chippa United. And he came here. Have a listen to this particular clip that I want us to discuss.
There was no contract, and I came, I worked, and then I delivered. He gave me the mandate. I have delivered on the mandate. For me, it was to show him that it wasn't about that, to put the money in front first. And I even said to him that, Chairman, I'm going to save this team.
No contract. He's not the first. I mean, you remember with Chippa. But I just wonder, why would a seasoned coach, somebody who's been in South Africa, a player before that, play, yes, it's just 4 games,
Andile,
without a contract?
Andile, coaching job comes with an expiry date. And a Chippa is very clear. I mean, 39 coaches in the last 12 years. Knowing very well good. Love Belling has fucking ultimately he didn't protect himself as a coach, because I understand it's not about his change the situation, but I mean, it speaks to good now about desperate enough. That is why you took that situation. And imagine credibility as a coach, man. I understand how much it's a question of desperate Spanish. But I think for me now, at Chippa, you need to tie.
Do you think it's saved Chippa from relegation?
You got 4 points in 4 games, and I mean, they didn't get relegated. But I'm going to come to you, Nadim. Let me go to Pro.
But Andile, I'm not sure whether the PSL allows somebody to coach without a contract. I'm really not sure. I'll still have to go through the NFL handbook.
Kurt Lenke's coached with a player's contract, didn't he?
It's something that needs to be investigated.
Lakile Kwatu was playing at Pirates without a contract.
Go on, Pro.
When was it?
But 2011, he didn't have a contract.
What I want to say, Andile, is that I'm disappointed that Coach Shoni has not been retained by Chippa United. I thought that Chippa was going to give him a chance. He was going to give him time to work on the team. I know that he was at Chippa before and he left for Golden Arrows. Maybe they wanted to give him a taste of his own medicine. I don't know. But for me, this is one coach that I strongly believe that he's got something to offer in the league. Given a chance, given time, even in an assistant role. I know that at Chippa you are not guaranteed anything, but I think this time around the Chippa was emotional about it, and you should have allowed him at least to do pre-season training and to start the season with the club. If it doesn't improve the team, then he was going to be within his right to dismiss him. But to dismiss a man for saving your club, I think it counts as an unfair dismissal.
Firstly, I'm not sure if he saved Chippa United, and with the contract thing, it's actually, I remember when Benny McCarthy was signed by Pirates, where Pirates offices, where the chairman of Orlando Pirates, Ivan Khoza, confirmed that Pirates is one of the few players in the PSL who's playing without a contract. So I think even in this thing, I listened to the show when you're speaking to him, with you and Mazola. He said Chipampeng is to call him and say, okay, please save my team from relegation. You've got 4 games. So that was an agreement of 4 games. The only thing maybe you should be worried about that, okay, why was he given 4 games? Or he needed to sign somewhere. That, okay, I'm giving you 4 games. One would say, okay, that 4 games was a gentleman's agreement. He knew that it's not worth it maybe it was only a month, that's it. After that, he's going to look for a new coach. I don't think he was hard done by Chippa United. He know how Chipampeng operates.
He's been there before.
That's why he agreed also to that 4th thing. He knew that he needed... Chipampeng is the guy who was going to fire him within the first match that he lost against Kaizer Chiefs. If he wanted to Osikukune, he didn't fire him. He let him like a run through. So I think I heard him, but it's difficult to work for Chipampeng because Chipampeng is one of those owners in the PSL who just doesn't respect coaches. He doesn't care if you can save him from relegation or you can do whatever for him. He doesn't care. He cares about himself.
Let's take a break. When we come back on the other side, we still got Ernst Middendorp and, of course, the final tomorrow, Orlando Pirates taking on Sekhukhune United. Taking your calls as well on 086 000 2160. WhatsApp on 060 552 7303. Now, word is out that Ernst Middendorp, who's been with so many teams, and we can count them from Golden Arrows to Maritzburg United, Kaizer Chiefs, Swallows Football Club in South Africa, left Swallows Football Club in the middle of the night for Nasarasa Airport in Tanga. He went to a 3rd division team.
3rd division, yes.
SV Meppen, right?
Yeah.
But he's relegated them now, and he's been let go, right?
Yeah.
This is what Nadeem said before he was hired at Swallows, once the news broke that's finally official. I mean, it was a badly kept secret. We all know he was going there.
Yeah.
But here's what Nadeem had to say. Nadeem, let me start with you. Ernst Middendorp has been hired by Swallows. It was the worst kept secret, but now they've given him a 3-year contract.
I think it's a terrible decision. It's actually disrespectful to Morocco Swallows Football Club, the history of the club, to the fans, even to the jersey. He's not going to improve Swallows. He has never improved any team. He's not going to bring anything new. We know him at Celtic. Remember at Bloemfontein Celtic, he was there for a long time. He never did anything. Went to Maritzburg, Kaizer Chiefs. I mean, there's a reason why Atazwan is a coach even now. Again, the Chiefs, he got a 3-year contract. I think he coached 1 season or so. So I don't even think it's going to do anything new to Swallows. I think it's a bad appointment, Andile, just not to waste your time.
Cool man.
Amara Andile mongayibheka, I mean, I think u correct lapho Nadim uyaqala ukuvumelana naye. 11 points in 10 matches. 3 wins, 5 defeats and 2 draws. Poor standards. Mina ungicoachile ke ngikhuluma ngomuntu engamazi.
And because I've often asked the question, in his entire time here in South Africa, we counted, 16 years or something like that.
Yes.
He won 1 trophy.
Yeah.
First season at Chiefs.
Yeah, from 2006.
The only thing that he can offer you, Middendorp, is discipline for dressing room. Other than that, tactical understanding are nowhere near quality. I can tell you right now. Yes, team in culture you need a solid coach and coach and a character that Middendorp is your guy. But in terms of breaking down and issue interpersonal relationship, meaning a coaching course back how to deal with any type of a character in the club. One way. Do
you think he's a good coach?
No.
He coached you. Where did he coach you?
Good Chiefs. The tres are ringa ngayo Nadim benginaye lapha bamfaka amatera first season batayingwenya. No, ushota ngoshukela.
I mean, they went and called him back.
Yeah, because Chiefs made those decision. It's fun and similar situation ka Hunt. It was immediate results. Asole nama results isilungise lento silungisa.
So akekho mnandi.
Akunalutho. Yizwa mina umnandi yena nge-discipline.
Right, let's quickly go to Opta Jali because we're going to move and focus now on something a little bit different. It's the Nedbank Cup final tomorrow. It's Orlando Pirates versus Sekhukhune. I'll tell you who I'm supporting. Very simple. My brother, he's out at Sekhukhune United. He's playing in his first final, so the whole family's excited about that. But Opta Jali was with us. Opta, thank you for joining us. I know it's a short spin today for you, but talk to us. What can we look forward to? What are some of the big stats that we need to know about the Nedbank Cup final? Lindell, are you there? Oh, he's on clean feed. Lindell Moyo was a member of Opta Jali, of course, who was on clean feed. Lindell, I'm not sure if you're able to hear us. Are we audible to you? Okay, while we sort that out. Pro.
Yes, ma.
Final tomorrow. Pirates versus Sekhukhune. Pirates versus Kukune. Talk to me.
Marushi, you under 10 years.
Pirates versus Kukune. I think it's going to be an interesting game. Orlando Pirates last won this cup, if I'm not mistaken, in 2014, and Kukune will be looking to win their first one. And the last player to create magic for Orlando Pirates in the Nedbank Cup was Kemit Erasmus, and Kemit Erasmus is still at Pirates. But for me, I think it's Kukune will still just run penalties, unfortunately.
Nkonza?
For me, final access, Andile, to be clear, it's about, for me, I'm coaches, because I look at it from the deeper angle. Truta, I think he was fired. Second leg, Gumazuli was supposed to be in a final with MTN 8. So this will be my coaches contrasting points for this match tomorrow. So Truta will want to do well. He took the club. He was on 15th position, but Pega is cooking. They're on 7th now, and they're in the final. They've considered one Gunet Bank. Look at Riviera. You remember Pirates' first 15 games, they've scored 10. So he had to change the outlook in terms of the offensive approach. And for me, now this coach has done well for Paris. That's why he is my coach of the season. I think also, he reinvented Paris Lily out here.
Reinvented Pirates coach of the season.
Yeah.
Tico says Pirates are going to be the only team to challenge Sundowns. Hey, my daughter. Nadim?
Yeah, actually, I heard what Tico. I thought you were going to comment about what Tico said, because I disagree with him. As we know, Pirates, they're going to start releasing the players that are playing now. They always do that. They finish the season highly, then around June, they start releasing, sign 10 players, release 10 players. And then they build again. They will pick up from November. Then they start performing. It's always been like that for the past 8 years. That's why they've not won a league ever since they won the double treble. Okay, looking at the final, I will think Pirates have an outside chance of going there and win it.
Pirates have the outside chance?
Yes, they do, because Kukune are favorites to win there. If you look at the team...
What?
Yes, they are favorites.
Tell me why.
Because Kukune, the way they actually... Pirates are in the top 8. Only Morocco Swallows, or Swallows, as they like to be called, in the top 8. That Pirates have beaten them home and away. Pirates are yet to beat Kukune this season. Kukune beat Pirates 2-0 in the first leg, and at Orlando it was 1-1. Where Pirates have won almost every game this season, but they failed to beat Kukune since the beginning of the year, obvious. They only lost to Sundowns. From there, they won all the matches. If you look how Pirates went to the final, they have to go to extra time against a goal that people think maybe it was an offside against Venda FC. And then how they played against Dondol Stars, where Marco should have gotten a red card and Dondol should have gotten a penalty. And then Pirates went on to win on penalties against Kaizer Chiefs. Pirates have to go to extra time. Only one game on the way to the final where Pirates won clean. It was Captain All Stars. All the other matches on extra time. They are playing another team that is highly experienced players. If you look at the back, Edwin Jima, Cardoso at the back, and Tiantia, and Mobi on the right, Bafana player. So Kukune have the experience and the speed. Even your brother, remember, he scored in the first game when they beat Paris 2-0. They do have the players that they can... Brendan Truth, I like him a lot because defensively they are very sound. They just need one goal to silence Pirates. And Pirates might score. That's why I can agree with Pilane that it might even go to penalties. That's why I say Pirates have because of their experience. Kukune have a lot of experience also. It's almost even the way I look at it. But obviously, Kukune, for me, they are favorites to win the final. I expect them to actually to win it.
Kwanzaa, you've got 10 seconds because we need to take calls at exactly 50.
I mean, it's the second trophy in the season, second sport, winner. Pirates can only lose the match if they go to extra time.
And they've been in extra time in the last 3 of the 4 matches in the Nedbank Cup.
Let's go to some of your WhatsApps and hear what you've had to say on all the topics discussed here. And then as soon as that is done, we'll be able to take some calls.
Good evening, Andile, and the guys in the studio. Hey, when you talk about cheaper beggars, you talk about another owner there who don't care what's happened, who don't care about other people's feelings, who don't care about other people's vision, who don't care about other people's plan. Because you can do whatever, make everything, give you the all, but that man doesn't care. He only cares about himself. That's only. All the interview, you can hear that man talking. He don't care about coaches. And I don't think that man will ever change. Just for that shows always.
Nadim, when that guy. Because there's some feedback. Let's play some...
Mkonza must tell us how did he leave SuperSport United one day.
One day.
Under Gavin Hunt.
Let's play another one.
Andile.
Yes, sir.
How can CM not do that to himself, you know? I mean, the man doesn't respect himself. coaching without a contract. What was he actually hoping to achieve into this whole thing? I mean, your time, your efforts there, but there's no contract. Really, no. When it comes to Sundowns, I think Mukwena's character will be tested next season. We'll get to see if he's really as good as he says he is, or as they say he is.
Okay.
Yabona unayidima unenkani.
Nje.
Yilabo kuthiwa wayisusa uzoyimela and uyisusa imele.
Oh, thank you.
But then on the issue of Andile Jali, I think Rulani just wanted to play Mkwena. Regardless of what Jali came to training drunk, because Mbule came to training drunk, but Mbule is playing now.
Yes, Mbule is playing.
So you cannot say because Jali was drunk at some point. And on the matter of mid and top, I don't know what teams see in that guy, because he's gonna come back here in South Africa and Marisbeck is gonna take him. And not in the final tomorrow. Play
last one so we can take some calls. You can give us a call. Gaboga Zulu. We're taking your calls on 06 0002160. Hey,
Nadim is defending Andile. Andile was supposed to be example to youngsters. So I think Nadim or Andile Jali.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it. Let's go to the Val. Gilbert is there. He wants to talk about Jali. Gilbert.
Andile, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Talk to me.
I believe Sundowns had to let go of Andile Jali. He's a great player, but with Rulani being a young coach, any form of resistance might be a distraction to the whole team.
Yeah. Oh, that's a good point.
Yeah.
And again, we know Sundowns have enough quality to survive without him. So unfortunately,
today though,
Gilbert, can I tell you something? You said what Nadim was trying to say, but you said it in a nice way.
Very nice way.
Okay, but
Gilbert,
but today,
but he wants to know. You say Sundowns have a fair replacements for Jali. Do they though?
They do. Precisely. Mukwena has the same capability, he has the same energy.
Okay, Sundowns one.
Hold on, let him finish.
And Andile might be a 90, but Mukwena is there as an 87 with a possibility of being a 95. He's got the international experience, he's got the age, he's got the height, he's got the speed, physique, everything. He's got the
Sundowns won a treble last season. Are they going to win a treble this season?
No, this season, no.
Exactly. With Andile Jali, that's how much they did well because of him.
And they also exited the quarterfinals, and this year they exited at the semifinals.
No, I'm talking about the one in the PSL. They won 3 trophies last season.
No, precisely, you are right. But they also did better in Africa with Eboho Mukwena leading them.
No, they didn't do better. They're not in the final.
Well, they did one better. Quarterfinals and semifinals.
Yes. No,
that's better.
No, they were supposed to win it. They didn't do better.
Let's go to Dixon. Dixon is out Kwamhlanga. Dixon, you want to talk about Andile Jali?
Hi, Andile, how are you?
Hey, I'm good, man. Talk to me.
Remember, there was Sapula. He was out without any complaint. There was Godfrey Sapula.
Okay, yeah.
He played for Sundowns. He went out without any complaint. There was Nyandoro. There was Kampukekana. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, what I like about him, he's always willing to try new stuff. He doesn't stick to the old things forever. That's why all these other teams are failing. They keep people like...
Yeah, but Dixon, you're comparing in terms of discipline, in terms of being, gentlemen of the game. You're comparing 3 people, Nyandoro, Kekana, and Sapula with Andile Jali. I don't think you can compare those things.
That's what I'm saying. If you really love what you're doing, Andile, you stay there, you support everyone, you become a team player, you encourage youngsters, you lead by example.
Yeah,
you don't say because you can't justify the fact that someone is saying that he's gonna revolt when he plays, he's gonna lose discipline. What's that, Andy? We're promoting wrong things. Like him, they're promoting wrong things. Discipline. We are talking about an other girl over 30 years.
Dixon, thank you very much. I appreciate that. There's a feeling and a thought when on a team, and you might know this, pro you as well, where they say no, there are certain players that need to be managed, because we remember the story. All you need is love. Lerato Shabang. When Gordon Egerson was at Swallows, he said, I knew his problem was drinking. So I'd let him drink at certain times. I would lock him up at a hotel and have a guard outside. You know, there's a feeling, Guti, there's supposed to be that sort of management as well for players maybe like Andile Jali.
Exactly. Andile, he has to be playing. If you become the best player, now he trains every 3 days, watching them from the stands or from the box. That's not him. You're going to frustrate him. That's where this drinking and all discipline come from.
Let's go to Tumelo. Tumelo's out in the East End. Tumelo. Oh, Tumelo, terribly sorry. Try to call us again there. Hopefully you're able to get through, because you know on a Friday it's chock-a-block when it comes to the lines. Let's go to Majoro. Majoro is out in Soweto. Hey, Dumela Majoro. Hey, bolela Majoro, my mate. Haina therefore.
Game it's a different game. I got to warm up. So as our history on Skukuni, Pirate NT.
Yeah.
Kausani, it's a different game. So what I want to show me how come
that's why they're here. When what do you think about Kausano? Wanna to win a man, and because why?
Not wanna draw. And
I wanna draw go finally.
Okay, it's about maybe.
That's gonna be wrong.
Kimwana extra time more than that, and maybe penalties is Jabati. Understand?
All right, no, we can't decide on penalties. I appreciate it. Thank you so much, Takani. Tabiso's there. Tabiso. Ooh, the Lions doing the thing that they do. Timmy can't pick them up quick enough. Let me see. We've got a good 3 minutes, Timmy, that we can take. Let's go to my brr. Who's on the line? My brr, are you there? All right, Timmy's going to get himself sorted there, because I can see a lot of you calling in. But in the meantime, let's perhaps play some voice notes. You know, we try and take as many of your calls as possible. There's a lot that's been said in the last hour. There's a lot that's been said.
Good evening, Ma'a.
Eita.
And my Mkonza. Please remind me who gave who 100,000, by the way, between Matoho and Mashamaite. Just need to remind myself.
I think it's Mashamaite when won the football of the season.
Gave Matoho 100,000 because he said you're a great partner.
Yeah, and
yes.
And they're also from Limpopo.
Gentlemen.
Bazog.
Good evening, Andile. Good evening to Majita.
Jovijo.
And good evening to your team and my fellow listeners. Before we go deeper and deeper and deeper, Papa, Andy, can you tell
we don't
us
receive it
about how many goals Sakele has scored since he moved to SuperSport? Because of, I told you as well, I think even Nadim told you that he will not reach 6 goals. The less said about Erasmus, the better. Live and direct.
When Nadim,
Andile, I'm shocked you didn't faint.
You're in the same place before you come here. One more, play it.
Shoma, ngiyavumelana nomkhonza. Nangu nje uLakhe waye defender of the season, but akazenzanga lezi zinto ezenziwe uJali lezi. So mina angisizwa lesizathu sokuthi uma engadlali uyafrustrateeka. I don't buy it.
Do you remember beginning of the season, not beginning, it's the middle of the season when Rulane took over? Mshishi was playing almost every game.
Yes.
What happened when Rulane took over? He wasn't playing as much, right? He was being used sparingly, right? I didn't see him go on a drinking binge. I didn't see him akwad.
No,
so
but
professionalism has got a lot to do with it.
You know, Mshishi is a very disciplined boy from Tembisa.
Of
course,
so why is Andile
not disciplined?
But then why is Andile allowed not to be disciplined in the team?
It's always been like that.
But that's not okay.
But there are players like that.
And it's okay.
I'm not saying it's okay. It's not right. But his talent, it makes every club owner wants Jali. If you can talk most of the club owners, they will want to have Jali in their team because he's very good.
We out of here. Myself and my very large team on a Friday. We make way for Monday. Remember, when we're back, it's the 3 wise men. Myself, Mazola Malefe, as well as Victor Tlangwane with our camera crew and everybody in studio. From all of us here, we really appreciate it. Pela pela. That's all me.